Hey there. I thought it might be kind of fun to share my dirt bike history with you guys. Like a lot of kids who grew up in the 70s and 80s, my first experience with a motorized two-wheeler was just like a mini bike with a Briggs engine on it. These things were like pure freedom to a 10-year-old kid back in the day. You know, just simple, pour gas in it, pull the cord, and take off all over the neighborhood. It was great fun. After that, of course, I had the two-wheel fever for a real motorcycle, and my dad brought home several boxes of motorcycle parts from one of his junkyard buddies and said if I could put it together, I could ride it. Smart and smart-ass at the same time. Well, I put it together, but I don't have any memory of the thing actually running. It was a 73 Yamaha 100, but yeah, I never really got to ride it. After that, mostly unsatisfying experience, I bought a KDX 80 from a school buddy of mine, and it would fit in the trunk of my car. So me and my friends ended up taking that thing all over the place, trying to kill it, like whatever. We didn't care. And I don't think it ever died. It was just one tough little bike, but it was way too small for me at 16 years old. So I ended up getting an XR 200. And that was also a really tough little bike. I don't think I did much maintenance to it at all. It just ran and ran and ran. Typical Honda. After this, this was a 79 XR 500 that belonged to my brother-in-law, and he let me ride it whenever I wanted to, so I just included it in here. But it was an interesting experience with that 23-inch front wheel, and the thing has so much power you can just pull back on a throttle and it will wheelie. It's a wild bike. But anyway, the most unusual bike I ever owned was a Cagiva WMX 250. The engine on that bike was like crazy powerful compared to anything I'd ever been on before. But the suspension really sucked, and the parts were nearly impossible to find for this thing. I did do a few motocross races on it, and I actually pulled the whole shot a few times, but I always got passed after a few turns and jumps. It was just that bad. After that, I went back to more of a woods riding style and got an XR 350, which was a great woods bike, but it was heavy, and it was difficult to start. Once it got hot, God forbid you drop it while you were riding, you're not getting it started again. So I ended up getting a KDX 200, which was also a great trail bike, and it was a little lighter than the XR, and it was super easy to start, cold or hot. Absolutely one of the easiest starting bikes I've ever had. But it was completely gutless compared to the bikes that I'd been riding. So I ended up going and getting my first CR 250, which had plenty of power, decent suspension, and I actually really liked it. It was a good bike, but I got more power hungry even on the 250, so I grabbed a CR 500, and this was before the CR 500s were cool collectibles, that they are today. My friends just thought I was crazy for trying to ride this thing in the woods, and eventually I discovered they were completely right after busting my knee on a tree because I couldn't turn this beast. It was a point-and-shoot bike. But anyway, so I went in the complete opposite direction and got a KX 125. And that thing ended up feeling like riding a BMX bike in the woods compared to the CR 500. But obviously it was low on hill climbing power, so I ended up going back to a CR 250 again, this time with their aluminum frame bike, which was absolutely terrible in the woods because this was like designed to be a supercross bike, and I couldn't stand it. So I ended up getting an RM250, which was like Goldilocks. This thing had so much low-end grunt and the best suspension of any bike I'd had up to that point. I thought I'd keep the thing forever. It was just great. But all my buddies started riding KTMs, and so I got sucked into the KTM world too, and I haven't left it yet. My first KTM was also my first electric start bike, which we all know is awesome. It was the 520 EXC. I rode that bike for over 10 years, all over the place, brown, brushy, street, everywhere, until it got stolen from my work parking lot when I was dual sporting it. I'm currently on this 250 XCW, and it fits my riding style perfectly. Old, slow, soft, whatever. Anyway, comment if you've had some of the same bikes over the years and what you thought of them.